Welcome to our U.S. Briefing program. Today's news brings a mix of politics, celebrity encounters, and international tensions. First off, Houston's very own emergency room nurse, Molly Cook, has clinched a victory in the Texas Senate special election, leaving Representative Jarvis Johnson in the dust. This win marks a significant turnaround from the March 5 primary, setting the stage for Cook's political journey as the Texas legislature reconvenes in January 2025. In a lighter vein, Star Wars legend Mark Hamill bestowed a stellar nickname upon President Joe Biden during a recent White House visit, dubbing him Joe-Bi-Wan Kenobi. Hamill praised Biden for his legislative successes, sharing a moment of intergalactic camaraderie on Star Wars Day. Meanwhile, across the globe, Beijing is playing a game of carrot and stick with Taiwan, as military maneuvers coincide with eased trade and travel restrictions. This strategic approach aims to influence Taiwan's incoming president, William Lai, amid heightened cross-strait tensions. Please stay tuned for more detailed content. In the heart of Texas, a remarkable shift in political tides unfolded as Houston emergency room nurse Molly Cook secured a significant victory in a special election for a Texas Senate seat. According to Yahoo US, Cook's triumph came after early returns and a portion of Election Day results showcased her comfortably leading over State Representative Jarvis Johnson. This victory was not just a win for Cook but marked a sharp reversal from the March 5 primary, where she, Johnson, and four other Democrats vied for a full term that will kick off when the Texas legislature reconvenes for its next regular session in January 2025. Cook's win is a testament to her resilience and the support she garnered, signaling a potentially new direction for Texas politics. Meanwhile, in a setting far removed from the political arenas, Star Wars star Mark Hamill brought a touch of intergalactic charm to the White House. Yahoo US reports that during his visit, Hamill met with President Joe Biden, whom he described as amazing. The actor shared that Biden showed him photographs during their meeting, creating a personal connection between the two. In a whimsical twist, Hamill bestowed upon Biden the nickname Joe-Bi-Wan Kenobi, drawing a parallel between the president and the wise Jedi Master from the Star Wars saga. Hamill's visit was not just about fanfare. He praised Biden as the most legislatively successful president in his lifetime, highlighting the actor's appreciation for Biden's accomplishments. The meeting culminated in Hamill tweeting a photo of himself with Biden, extending Star Wars Day greetings to all. In the political realm, debates and conflicts are never far behind. The Hill reports a scenario where Democratic Congressman Jerry Nadler stood up for Speaker Mike Johnson amidst controversies. Nadler argued that Johnson should not be penalized for doing the right thing by voting for Ukraine aid. This statement came in response to a motion to vacate against Johnson, initiated by Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. The motion stemmed from Johnson's support for Ukraine aid, which passed with bipartisan votes, showcasing the complexities and divisions within political parties. Despite Greene's efforts, which garnered support from two more GOP members, a faction of Republicans, along with some Senate opposition, declared they would not back the resolution. This scenario underscores the intricate dynamics and the sometimes surprising alliances that form within the U.S. political landscape. Each of these narratives, from Molly Cook's electoral victory to Mark Hamill's whimsical White House visit and the political defense of Mike Johnson, illustrates the diverse and dynamic nature of American public life. Whether it's through the lens of an emergency room nurse stepping into the political arena, a beloved actor engaging with the president, or politicians navigating the treacherous waters of legislative support, these stories reflect the multifaceted tapestry of American society. They highlight moments of triumph, unity, and resilience amidst the ever-evolving backdrop of the United States. In a series of global political developments, tensions and diplomatic exchanges have unfolded across continents, touching on issues from immigration policies to military intimidation and the contentious rhetoric of former leaders. Starting in the East, a statement from the Japanese government has brought to light an unfortunate characterization by U.S. President Joe Biden, as reported by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. During a campaign event, Biden grouped Japan with nations such as China, Russia, and India, suggesting that these countries were facing economic challenges due to their reluctance to welcome immigrants. Labeling Japan as xenophobic, Biden's comments stirred a diplomatic response, with Japan deeming the remarks unfortunate and indicative of a misunderstanding of the nation's policies. The White House later clarified that Biden's broader intent was to highlight the significance of immigration to the United States, a clarification that Japan acknowledged, albeit with a note of the initial dismay. Shifting focus to the tense cross-strait relations between Beijing and Taiwan, the South China Morning Post reports an escalation in Beijing's pressure tactics. As William Lai Ching-te prepares to assume the presidency in Taiwan, Beijing has launched a dual strategy of military intimidation and diplomatic gestures. In a display of military might, 12 People's Liberation Army aircraft executed a close flyby to Taiwan, marking a concerning precedent. Concurrently, Beijing announced the easing of travel restrictions to Taiwan and the resumption of imports of Taiwanese food products. This approach, blending coercion with conciliation, is seen as Beijing's attempt to sway Taiwan towards reunification, against a backdrop of deteriorating relations under the independence-leaning Democratic Progressive Party. Across the Pacific, former U.S. President Donald Trump has intensified his critique of prosecutors, as detailed by The Washington Post. In a private luncheon attended by Republican donors, Trump unleashed a barrage of accusations, labeling special counsel Jack Smith derogatorily and condemning Democrats for what he described as running a Gestapo administration. Facing 88 criminal charges across 4 separate cases, Trump's disparaging remarks about prosecutors underscore his broader strategy to combat legal challenges while eyeing a return to the White House. The event, which cost attendees at least $40,000 each, provided a platform for Trump to also touch upon various topics, including the 2020 election and potential vice presidential candidates, amidst his legal and political battles. These developments, spanning from diplomatic missteps to military posturing and political rhetoric, paint a complex picture of the current global political landscape. Each incident, whether it be Biden's comments on Japan, Beijing's pressure on Taiwan, or Trump's attacks on prosecutors, reflects broader themes of geopolitical tension, national identity, and the intricate dance of power and diplomacy on the world stage. As nations navigate these challenges, the outcomes of these interactions will undoubtedly shape the future of international relations and domestic politics within these countries. In the intricate tapestry of global politics, where the threads of power, ambition, and ideology interweave, recent developments across the United States, South Korea, and Taiwan have drawn attention, each narrating a unique tale of political maneuvering, stability, and tension. From the corridors of power in Washington, D.C., a significant departure underscores the deepening rift within the Republican Party, as reported by The Washington Post. Charlie Spies, the top lawyer for the Republican National Committee, RNC, has decided to step down, a move that traces its origins to the growing discord between him and former President Donald Trump. Spies, who has been critical of Trump's unfounded claims that the 2020 election was stolen, found himself at odds with the former president, highlighting the internal struggles within the party as it grapples with its identity and future direction. This episode not only reflects the challenges of navigating political loyalty and integrity but also underscores the broader implications of such internal divisions on the party's cohesion and electoral prospects. Crossing over to the Korean peninsula, the political landscape in South Korea is experiencing its own tremors of instability. The South China Morning Post sheds light on a failed meeting between President Yoon Suk-yeol and opposition leader Lee Jae-myung, an event that has raised questions about the country's political stability. The meeting, which ended without yielding any substantial results, was seen as a critical opportunity for Yoon to pivot from his party's recent electoral setbacks and demonstrate a willingness to bridge divides. However, the encounter's failure has sparked concerns over the potential for increased partisan strife, with critics pointing to Yoon's governance style, marked by allegations of political favoritism and selective law enforcement, as a contributing factor to the impasse. This political deadlock not only threatens to polarize the nation further but also puts the spotlight on the delicate balance of power, governance, and opposition dynamics in South Korea's democracy. Meanwhile, the geopolitical chess game across the Taiwan Strait intensifies as Beijing steps up its pressure on Taiwan ahead of William Lai Ching-te's inauguration as the island's president. The South China Morning Post reports a calculated mix of military intimidation and policy adjustments by Beijing, aimed at influencing Taiwan's political stance. The recent deployment of 12 People's Liberation Army aircraft near Taiwan represents a bold show of force, raising alarms over the potential for escalated tensions. Concurrently, Beijing's decision to ease travel restrictions to Taiwan and resume imports of Taiwanese food products signals a strategic carrot-and-stick approach, blending conciliation with coercion. This nuanced strategy, unfolding against the backdrop of deteriorating cross-strait relations since Tsai Ing-wen's presidency, highlights the complex interplay of diplomacy, military posturing, and economic policies in the quest for reunification and sovereignty. Each of these narratives, from the internal strife within the Republican Party to the political deadlock in South Korea, and the strategic maneuvering between Beijing and Taiwan, illustrates the multifaceted nature of political dynamics in today's world. These developments not only have implications for the domestic politics of the countries involved but also resonate on the international stage, shaping the contours of global power relations, alliances, and the ongoing struggle for influence and identity in an ever-evolving geopolitical landscape. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.